Hello, it's Phil and Kacie and Heather, and we are here at Enterprise South Nature Park. It's a really crazy overcast day. Fall color's a little bit past peak, but Kacie wanted some senior pictures with some fall color, so we are working on that. Heather is over here with the Z50, and I've got her using the 50mm f1.8G, and I've got the Z6 and a bunch of lenses. I have the 24-70, I brought my 85 1.8, I got the 70-200 2.8, and I even brought the old Helios. So we're going to chase Kacie around and make some pictures. So I started out with my 24-70 f2.8G, and really the only picture that I made with it that I liked was this picture of Kacie on this little boardwalk. And then I really wanted to switch to some more bokeh lenses, so let's do that. Well, I have two of those old Helios lenses, and one of them I did the front lens element reversal modification, and it is terrible. So no Helios pictures today, but Heather's already nailed a really nice one of Kacie holding a leaf with the 50mm 1.8. So what happened was I just picked up the wrong Helios lens, and this was as close as I could come to getting Kacie in focus with the front element reversal Helios 44-2 58mm lens. Ridiculous bokeh in the background though. And now let's take a look at one of my favorite photographs of the entire day. This is the photograph that Heather got with her Nikon Z50 using the 50mm f1.8G. Really great. She got a great pose out of Kacie. I love the idea of holding this leaf, and she really set up a fabulous background for this photograph. Great job. We made lots and lots of pictures here at this, I'm not sure what spot this is, parking lot number 9. My Helios, I brought my wrong Helios. Made just a few with the 24-70. I made some with the 70-200, but the inside of the front element on my lens is looking kind of weird and dirty. So that'll give me something to take apart and work on. And then I put the 85 1.8 on for the majority of the shots. And Heather was still working 100% with the 50 1.8 on the Z50. And then we got in trouble for standing in the road. And now we're going to go try to find another spot. And we just got some sun right in the middle of this clip. Sorry about the wind noise in the previous clip. Here is one of Heather's photographs of Kacie, and I thought it turned out really nice. And now I used the 70-200. The front element was dirty. I thought it was the inside of the front element, but it turns out it was the outside of the front element, and I was able to get it cleaned off with no problems when we got home. And it turned out that it was making some pretty good pictures, but with all the stuff on the element, I decided that I needed to change that out. And so this is probably the last 70-200 photograph right here. And then I switched to the lens that I would use for the rest of the day, and that is the 85 f1.8G, the poor man's portrait lens. You know, most people would say that the 85 1.4 would be the portrait lens. Here is another one of Heather's photographs with the 50mm 1.8, the nifty 50, the plastic fantastic. And now we're back to the 85 f1.8G on the Z6. You know, most people would say the 85 1.4, or these days the 105 f1.4 is the best portrait lens. But gosh, you can't go wrong with this 85 f1.8G. And there's also an 85mm f1.8 Z mount lens. I haven't tried it out myself. Maybe one day I'll borrow David's and see how it works. But I really love using mine. And there's another one of Heather's shots. And look, I've got Kacie posing like she is part of Charlie's Angels. And then I stole Heather's idea of getting Kacie to hold a leaf, but I don't think my leaf photo is nearly as good as hers. And then here's another photograph. Now with the 85, if you get a full body shot, the bokeh is not as amazing as if you do just kind of a head and shoulders or torso and shoulder shot. But if you get up close to your subject, the background just totally melts. And on this next shot, I tried to get Kacie to do a spin to get her hair poking out, and I'm not really all that great at that, but it came out okay. And here is one last shot of mine in the first area where we stopped using the 85 1.8, and here's another one of Heather's shots using the 50mm 1.8 at Enterprise South Nature Park. Okay, so now we're still in Enterprise South Nature Park. We're at a different location on Bunker Hill Loop. We've parked at bunker number 28 here, and there's a little bit better light now. The sun is occasionally poking through the clouds, and now Kacie is over here playing with my Z6 and the 85 f1.8G, and it looks like that's going to be the lens I use the most, the 85mm f1.8G, and Heather is still rocking with the Z50 and the 50mm 1.8, so we are bokeh-fied today. Trademark.
Bokeh-fied.
The light was a little bit too soft at the first location, and by the time we got to the second location, the light was perfect. It was just exactly right. A little bit later in the day, the light got too harsh, but right here, the light was just right, beautifully dappled as it came through the forest, as I made some photographs of Kacie here at Enterprise South Nature Park. And I really think that 85 f1.8G is such an underrated lens. It's really inexpensive compared to other portrait lenses, and it does really well. And here is Heather's shot of Kacie holding my Z6 with the 85 f1.8G attached to it. Made a bunch of photos over here at bunker 28, and the best color is on the ground right here near bunker 28. So with that in mind, I have posed Kacie on the ground and made a few photos of her laying here in the leaves, because this is silly, but the photos look pretty cool. So I almost should have borrowed Heather's 50mm. The 85 was almost too much. I almost couldn't get the camera high enough above her, but I think I made it work. So this was kind of fun. She had kind of gotten some dirt on her clothes when she was leaning up against some concrete earlier in the day, so I didn't feel too bad about having her lay down in the leaves, and I thought this turned out really cool. And I even styled her hair, and then she didn't move at all. Once she laid down, she just stayed in the same spot, and I moved around and made some various compositions of my sweet daughter, Miss Kacie, as she laid in the leaves. But it was her idea to put this leaf on her eye, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I made this photograph, and it turned out really nice. I think Kacie liked this one. And then when she was cleaning the leaves out of her hair, I thought that looked cool. So I said, hang on, run your fingers through your hair, and I'll make this photograph. And so I did, and I thought that was cool. And look how nice the background is in this one. And then as we were driving out of Bunker Hill Loop, we came around this turn, and I said, oh, that's awesome, and just stopped the car right there in the middle of the road and had Kacie get out. And I think I pretended to flatulate to make Kacie laugh in this photograph. When we started off, there was a lot of clouds, 100% overcast, almost too little light, although it was a nice softbox. And then we got some really great light, and now there's just too much light, so we're going to call it. And this has ended up being, instead of a portraits of my daughter with lots of lenses, this has turned into portraits of my daughter only using the 85 f1.8G and Heather using the 50 f1.8G on the Z50. We hope you liked this video. If you do, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want to see some more. And we appreciate you watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Everybody wave. You waving back there, Kacie? Oh, yep, everybody's waving. Bye-bye.